Oh, that's what's on. I was like, what's making that noise? Yeah, just sitting here at a park that I once left my future heart. Just want to shed a little bit of light on something that I think happens when we're very unhappy and feeling a sort of stagnation, like a frustrated energy where we don't know the next step, but we know that the steps that we're on are creating next steps that don't feel in line with us. You know, usually I think it's possible to miss a fork in the road. And if you miss a fork in the road, that means you're not holding still. You're not waiting for something. You're literally taking active steps towards the wrong thing. And sometimes you have to like find a different route, like a totally new route you never planned to take that cuts over to the other track or path. And sometimes you have to like double down, like trace your steps back and then go. And when people talk about feeling stuck and or frustrated, like, I just feel like this isn't the right thing, the thing I'm doing, what you need to really allow like grace and space for and compassion for is the fact that those feelings you're feeling, it's not stuckness, it's actually something much worse. If you were just stuck, you'd be like a little seed in the ground going nowhere but moving just ever so slightly, and you might feel like, well, at least I'm in the place that I'm planted and I'm safe and I'm in the right spot, and the growth may be slow, but at least it's in the right direction, which is towards the sun. But I think stuckness is actually something much darker, and not dark like a seed waiting to sprout and find the light, but dark like straight up wrong. This is where I get into topics like good and evil and, you know, fall of man kind of stuff, like original sin garden kind of stuff, because I feel like even if that were all just a bunch of stories, which I don't believe it is, there are millions of billions of trillions of people since the beginning of time who have read some of these stories. And, you know, even if all you believe in is collective unconsciousness, then these are stories that have been passed on through untold generations, through millions, trillions, billions, I don't know, of people. Over time, over history, they resonate. These stories have meaning and feeling and power. And the idea of having something good. Think about a perfect day. Think about a great day, and then a really crappy thought gets in your brain and naggles around and then changes your day because you just can't stop thinking about, well, but this isn't going to last, or some other crappy thought. I don't have thoughts like that, but I have other crappy thoughts that just kind of undermines and ruins the whole thing. Then the original sin, fall of man story is like a metaphor for that. It's like you had it so good. Things were flowing, they were easy, they were simple, they were straightforward. Yes, you may not have been the all-powerful God himself. And if the him and her stuff messes with your brain and you want to call God a her, or you want to not listen to me because I called God a him, like I just would argue. There's an article I read today written on a Jewish website where they put God, they put G-D. Like they said, even just naming God, we diminish what God even is. It's an isness. It's an all. It's beyond anything our minds can understand. But to say it feels wrong, I mean, who knows? But it was a beautiful article about, you know, babies understand God. Toddlers understand God in a way that adults can't, because we keep thinking we need to know a thing and put it in the I know what that thing is box in our own brains. But that sounds more like something dark than, or just something dark as in like ignorant. And that's why I oftentimes think really little children are actually wiser than a lot of adults, because adults get trapped in concepts and compartmentalization. I just now even noticed myself. I'm just like not aware of myself. I'm just talking. So this is how my brain feels. Anyway, original sin, and like, whatever. I don't know. Where was I going with that? I just think we all get trapped in our brains, or we all are trapped in our brains, and any moments that you can get out of that, realize you're here right now. There's some trees. Those trees are here right now. God is not a thing you can possess and understand. It's the entire isness of the entire world. And isness is a constant state of being, not a thing to lay claim to, not a thing to own and say, I'm on good terms with God, or I'm on bad terms with God, or I understand God, or I don't understand God. Like, none of those sentences probably even make sense. It's all beyond us. It's the great mystery. It's the great and powerful. I almost said Wizard of Oz, or I was almost going to say Oz, but great and powerful Oz. I don't know if he said Wizard of Oz. I think that was just the title of the show, and then it was really just called Oz. Well, anyway, great show, Jess. Anyway, welcome to Songwriter Life with Jessica and the Rainbow. This is where I write songs, but I kind of show you what the thought process looks like that leads into songs. I kind of show you how I don't edit myself as I'm making songs, how it doesn't matter if they're good songs, bad songs, neutral songs, or all the shades in between. That's like listing black, white, and gray, as if gray is one exact color, but no, it's like black, white, or black, white, gray, and gray has like every shade possible. That's what songwriting feels like. That's what being creative feels like. That's what having a good day feels like, or a bad day. Like, those are black and white terms that doesn't even make sense. What about a kind of good day, or a kind of bad day, or a mostly good day, or a mostly bad day? I mean, who cares? It's all categorization for OCD style brains, and we all just want to know more things than we really get to know, and it's just not what the world actually is. Like, the world is happening right now. Like, words are tumbling out of my mouth, and I keep playing a non-song. I just keep strumming, and like, you can do this too. You don't have to do it though. I mean, I can just be an artist. I can quit trying to be a teacher. I teach for money, so that's what I do with my life, but I do it on the topics of music theory and a little bit songwriting, a little bit ukulele, mostly piano, but like, I find myself always wanting to like mentor and coach and counsel in little ways here and there, and it's just like hard to shut that part of me off. Also, all the self-help books and all the healers and people that helped me over the years, or even just my best friends, are very teachery type people. Like, they always have wisdom to impart, and so it's almost just like a thing I can't help but imitate. Or maybe I am this way. I don't know. You're hopping with your feet. You know you have wings to fly, but you're hopping, 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 hopping. Why? Little green leaves on the branches, growing so slow. Someday you're gonna fall off. Does it help you to know that? Does it help you to know that? I don't think so, 'cause all this time we spend on things where we're living in advance. Living in advance. Does it make you feel smart? Does it make you feel like singing this? Living in advance. Living in advance. I know you know we're gonna die. I know you know you're gonna lie to yourself most of the time. Most of the time. But what's the reason why a beautiful green leaf should be fixated on the falling to the ground? Yeah, someday you're gonna fall, but you're gonna miss it all if you keep talking about how you're gonna fall someday, and while you're falling, you're just gonna be like, oh crap, I should have been paying attention to this life within me, 'cause it's gonna be great. Well, maybe it won't be that great, but if you can learn to feel things as they're given, you might be happy when it's time to go, instead of just singing that same song about how you're so mad, how you're not in control. We are not in control, but maybe if you could just wake up and realize the whole thing's been planned for your comfort here, and maybe you could just learn to be where you are, or maybe you could just learn to feel this year at the most, or maybe you could just learn to be where you are, or just feel this year at the most. It's enough, I tell ya, it's enough, I tell ya, to be where you are. Be where you are. Be where you are. You're at this exact point of light, this exact star in the sky, shining bright for today, maybe tomorrow too. Aren't you lucky, aren't you lucky? All those dead souls around you floating in the air, they're saying wake up and wake up and smell the coffee, 'cause coffee will be gone when you are gone from the earth. And I know that's a sad thing to put in a song, but maybe you'll be happy if while you were here you really lived and enjoyed that coffee, and when you're gone from the earth it will be so much better than coffee. Oh, I don't know what this song's about, but I know what is on my heart, and I know you know what I mean, and I know you know what I mean, 'cause you're my friend and I'm your friend, and life is strange and it's not pretend. You're my friend and I'm your friend, and life is strange and hard and long and short and different than we thought when we were small. But it's not pretend at all. No, it's very real. It's very real, like a great big giant miracle. It's very real, and it's not small at all. And it's not pretend, it's not pretend. I know it helps you feel better to think of life that way. But hey, you'll miss your whole life that way. So don't give in to the dark. The dark, it wants to steal your spark and tell you there's no point. It doesn't matter what you do, we're just all gonna die. But that's a lie. That's the greatest lie. It matters what you do, create your life, and that lie will steal your life, and that lie will steal your life, and it'll spread like a virus, like a fungus, and it'll steal so many other lives. But if you really live your life right now, like I am trying to, or just like I'm allowing myself to do, that can inspire a whole fire, can inspire a great big fire that can light up the world in the dark. Or it's a spark, you're a spark, and I'm a spark. sparks in our hearts. Let it go, let it go. You don't have to know, 'cause you can't know where you're growing to. You can't know, you can't know, you can't know. You think you know, but you don't know. You think you know. You try to predict things, but that just creates that self-fulfilling prophecy. And hey, it feels safe in that forest or that river of blood in your dreams, in your dreams. Like those shows on TV, well, they told you things would be this way, and you believed then that things would be this way. But I'm telling you that things are not that way. Take a breath, feel the air. Is it dry or is it wet? You can know that for yourself. Take a breath, feel the air. Is it dry or is it wet? You can know that for yourself. Where you are, it matters where you are, and it matters why you are, and it matters what you are, and what you say, and what you do where you are. It matters, it matters, it matters to me, to you, to the people who want this world to be true, good and true, pure and true. You can throw the whole thing away if you want to, but I don't recommend it. It leaves you deep down in a hole you never wanted. It's those lies you never wanted, those lies that feel like being practical and wise. They're the lies you never wanted. They're all just lies, and it feels like being practical and worldly wise. But throw that shit away and be a spirit in the night, and let yourself be lit up from the inside. You know what I mean. This moment right now, this moment right now could be yours to claim and follow through on, and you won't feel the same tomorrow. And tomorrow makes the next tomorrow, which makes the next tomorrow. And it won't look like yesterday. You won't believe the things that you could make or create, the things that you could be, the things that you could know. Just listen to yourself. Don't listen to me unless I light you in the dark. Oh, my hand hurts today. I was chopping a lot of vegetables for chili. I made Brian a big pot of chili. He loves chili. He's really easy to please because I don't have much in terms of cooking skills, and I don't have patience with following recipes, except baking. Occasionally baking is fun. I keep meaning to make him lemon blueberry bread again, but yeah. So my hand hurts from that, and also from, we were doing our home buyer class all day today, so I was on my phone the whole day while we were taking our home buyer class. 7 courses, we got 100%. We're pretty proud of ourselves, but mostly he doesn't want me to be too proud. He's like, also we went really, really slow and studied way too hard. It should have been a 3-hour class, and we took a very long time with it because we wanted to really learn and grow and be thorough. You don't really need to have 100%. I don't think they didn't put that on our certificate, but anyway, being where you're at. That's an example of being where you're at. Like, we are at the beginning steps of buying our first house ever. We're never going to be at that again, either of us. we have now lived in. We both went from never having lived in a house, like as renters, to like building a home and a house together. And now we're going to have our second house together, but it's going to be our first one that we own. We hope, if everything goes through. So, and I'm sure we'll get cold feet. So it's, who knows? I mean, there were houses that had more amenities maybe, but the wrong layout for us. And there's so many different things to think of and consider. We're also buying in a really competitive market. So it'd probably be cheaper to buy it another time, but we'll see. Lots and lots and lots and lots of variables. But the last time I was at this park was a much sadder time in my life, which was the beginning of the inspiration on that song. Really feeling a lot. I don't know what else I should say. I put a lot into that song. It's not like a song I would learn to replay again. I could feel it. I was sitting sideways and twisting, and it was hurting my arms, so I wasn't even playing well. But the words I was saying were very true to me, and I really had to learn how to stop pouring gasoline on fires. That's who I have been, possibly for lifetimes. Which is, if something's wrong, if you feel bad about something and you feel self-pitying, so it's like, first there's something you feel bad about. Then you add self-pity. That's a little gasoline. Then you add blame and anger at yourself or other people. That's more gasoline. Then you add talking about it constantly. That's way more gasoline. That's literally just dumping a tub of gasoline all over a fire. I mean, that's what I used to do. I would talk about it with anyone who would listen, but really not at all. I would talk about it just with my sister. Sometimes I would talk on YouTube about depressing things. I mean, it's... Depressing things will not vanish from the earth, but they can vanish from your own life. And you can still care deeply for other people's pain. But what I'm noticing as I lift my focus off of, no, you can't take something off of something. As I put my focus onto the joyful and gratitude inspiring things in my life, I realize how many problems I have that need attending to that are within my control. I have to learn to save more money. You don't have to buy a house ever in your life, by the way. But like, I have all this grad school debt and no assets, and, you know, all this grad school debt would leave problems behind for a lot of people. So it's like, and also when you buy a home, you're not just giving your money away to someone else. And so this is a nice step that we're considering taking, but I've just never seen any value in all these things. But I think it's partly because I'm such a bird and I've never had a stable, yeah, I had to pick a place first. So I'm pretty excited that we're picking a place, and it's a nice little meeting of worlds. Just having some thoughts. My tummy's grumbling. I'm gonna go grocery shopping soon. You really shouldn't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, but I didn't plan very well. Just saw an old little pamphlet thing. This is a song title, No Rest for the Wicked. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I don't know what this is that I just picked up, but it's in my car. No rest for the wicked. Then the king said to Haman, hurry, take the robes and the horse as you have said, and do so to Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the king's gate. Leave out nothing that you have mentioned. These things, it's really out of context. I don't know what they're talking about. Haman can't sleep either. He is like the people the psalmist describes who plot mischief while on their beds. Oh, it's like a bad guy. Okay. Psalm 36:4. He is so anxious to set his mischief in motion that he gets up and heads to the royal court. To his delight, he finds that the king is already up. Even more delightful is the king's question. What shall be done for the man whom the king wishes to honor? People don't often expect the Bible to be funny, but it's hard not to laugh out loud at what happens next. Whom would the king wish to honor more than me? Haman asks with the flawless logic of a megalomaniac. Without missing a beat, Haman describes an elaborate parade in his own honor. The speed with which he comes up with the details suggests that he may have had this fantasy before. Haman's dreams become a nightmare when the king orders him to do so to the Jew Mordecai. Even the members of Haman's fan club scramble to distance themselves from him when he returns home to lick his wounds. Their words seem to recognize that Haman is no match for Mordecai's God. This is written by someone named Carol Bechtel. Why am I reading this on my YouTube channel? Okay, and then the thing to take away is, as you pray, ask God to help you remember that though the wrongs seem oft so strong, God is the ruler yet. That's said by somebody in This Is My Father's World, M.D. Babcock, 1901. Oh, and now the first thing makes more sense. So then the king said to Haman, hurry, take the robes and the horse as you have said. So all the things for your parade that you wanted for yourself. And do so to Mordecai the Jew. Like, give all of it to this other guy, Mordecai, who sits at the king's gate. Leave out nothing that you have mentioned. So go throw this parade that you dreamed of for yourself for this guy that doesn't seem to want anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that. How to spin that into something that I would say as some sort of inspirational thing. I guess what I would take away from that is that arrogance has gotten me nothing. Self-congratulations has gotten me nothing. Being excited about myself has gotten me nothing, including this YouTube channel. I struggle to be excited about anything that I'm trying to present and share, because if any of it's for my own glory is not helping me. Like, I know I act weird sometimes about, I only have 3 people watching these videos or whatever. But like someone one time said something really, really positive towards me in a comment, and the first thing that popped in my head was something I read a long time ago, or something someone said a long time ago, of like, compliments are as big of a problem as insults, like, for people. Like, it will mess with your mind because you'll get the wrong opinion of yourself. And then when other people don't say similar things, or when those things that they believe will happen for you don't happen, it will mess with your brain. And yeah, humility humility benefits the user. Humility benefits you, because if you think highly of your own self and you want a parade for your own self, then you will look out at a world that is not giving it to you. I have a master's degree in music. I mean, not very evident from my quirky little ukulele songs, but I have a master's degree in writing musicals, and so do 20 of my classmates, and there have been like 30 cycles at NYU, or 40 cycles by now at NYU, for this program at Tisch School of the Arts. Are we all on Broadway with musicals? I mean, I didn't even really want to do musicals. That was a weird tangent in my life. But it's an MFA that cost me $200,000. One of them, my classmate, I know, went on to do like insurance because it was a stable job, so he could raise a family. Like, he has every right to be bitter. He moved his life and him and his wife across the country from Colorado to go to this program, and it didn't turn into something. But like, I just feel like when you're humble, rambling about humility. It's something I need to work on. I've been talented since I was like 3 years old. I've been something people treated like some sort of little shiny, bright, sparkly star. But if I get excited about that, then the other side of that excitement is immediately resentment. Because other people won't give that to me if I'm giving it to myself. And they won't give it to me, period, whether or not I'm giving it to myself, if they don't feel like it. That's been most of my life, is being either too much for people or overlooked or ignored or like, I don't know. And the only reason I'm sharing this, it doesn't help me to complain about it by any means. That's the whole point of what I'm saying, is because I think there's other people like me. If you were ever celebrated for being talented or skilled, you won a spelling bee, whatever, and then later you come to feel like those talents and skills are pointless or not recognized, or you feel passed up for promotion over and over again, like this is, and you're working hard, or you're really smart, or you're naturally talented, or you're better at your job than Sheila, who just got the promotion, or you've been there longer. Anything that involves thinking highly of yourself, which is followed by then feeling sorry for yourself, then I think that that's what that passage is about, is that all of that fixation that guy, Haman, I don't know his name, he was saying, like, he was fixated on his own parade. Like, I'm creating a parade, but I'm really just trying to create, like, a map for people who wrestle with concepts like God, spirituality, witchcraft, paganism, arrogance, creativity, creative blocks, songwriting. I don't know what this channel is, but it's just like all the things that could be in their brain. I'm just vlogging it out to kind of give it away, flying like a little birdie, sharing my life story, or at least my life story of the last however many years. Because I spent most of my life doing the opposite of just hiding it all and being terrified of judgment. So this sort of excessive giving away is a better fit for me. But I don't want a parade for it. I mean, or if I do, I understand that that wouldn't serve me. It's just more work to do. I don't see myself as better than anybody. If there was a parade for me, I would immediately feel weird that there's not a parade for everyone else. And the only reason I even have a shred of humility now is because I've aired all of this out over the last few years. Because I used to want to rise up to some, Fiona Apple level of success. But to those whom more is given, more is expected by society, by the universe. Mirror. Okay. I mean, you can believe whatever you believe, but I believe in a very loving God. And yes, you can read chapters like Job, and you can read Revelations, and you can really wonder about this, and that's my personal assignment lately, is to look into those again. But I believe in a very loving God who is guiding us through the gritty details of being human if we are willing to listen. And you can mix that with philosophies on karma, if that helps you. That's sort of how I see certain chapters of my life. I don't call it karma usually, but I see that my own entanglements were often my own doing and a result of my own tangled mind, my own twisted thinking. Even just look at what a brain looks like. Or look at, when they say, like, you need guts, look at what guts look like, intestines. It's all tangled. Things are tangled. To have courage, to be a straight shooter, to really, and to be a straight shooter while shutting off your heart or your feeling, that's a little bit of a cop-out. No offense to the people I know who do that. But if you can be a straight shooter and feel everything, which most people can't. I can't. The people I know who are a little more straight shooters are a little bit more hardened emotionally, and the people that I know that are a little less of straight shooters are a little bit more open and receptive emotionally. Because it's very hard to do either thing, you know? This is like, it's very hard to be a human being. So, cut yourself some slack, but also continue to expect the best of yourself and continue to believe, if you can, that you deserve that. You deserve to be a person who's exactly where you're at right now. You deserve to be a person who believes that exactly where you're at right now, just like a seed, is where you need to be right now. It's like, this is a seed in time. It's a seed in heart, in mind, in feeling, in energy. You're at this exact moment. Boop. And you can grow exactly from here. But you can't grow from a future projection of what your whole point of your life is going to be like X many years from now. And you can't grow by living in a memory in the past where you were wounded and traumatized and now your heart is frozen and you just don't want to engage with the world anymore because life is too hard. And so you're just going to freeze yourself at 10 years old or 20 years old and say, forget it, I can't handle people or life or anything. I've done both of those extremes. I've frozen myself in childhood, and I have projected myself all the way to death and considered everything pointless. Coming into the sort of sacred middle where the seed is, where all potential happens. The sacred middle would be like the sacred present. It'd be the now. And in that little seed, that's where you are. And like right now. Just take a breath. You let it all out. And you feel. How does this moment make you feel? And you let that be your compass. And then you don't let yourself believe in people that tell you that you should explore every bad feeling ever. It's the most arrogantly inaccurate advice I've ever been given. I lost a decade of my life to this random belief in therapy and exploring every bad feeling. Insanity. It's the biggest insanity on the planet. Have a bad feeling? Go explore it and think about it more. Like, that pretty much created OCD for me. I mean, I was always a weirdo. I was always probably obsessive with weird projects and ideas and dreams and whatever, and getting good grades or whatever else. But like, I then took that obsessive stuff and I spun around and I put it on every bad feeling I've ever had, every bad experience I've ever had, every bad trauma that ever happened to me, and I analyzed them to death. That's when OCD gets dark, or whatever it is that I am, you know. Law of attraction is actually a very beautiful thing. I mean, it sounds crazy, like those Abraham Hicks videos, but it's just basically saying, like, I mean, I can't endorse everything she says because some of it's completely crazy, but no offense to her, but it just, like, whatever. Anyway, but my point is, one of the things she says, although she says she's like channeling, and I try not to promote that kind of stuff because some of it's really weird. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Don't quote me on anything. I'm sorry. Now I'm saying things. I'm talking in a circle. All I wanted to say was, regardless of where I got the idea, it is a law of attraction, The Secret, all that kind of idea, but it just says to kind of focus on the best feeling thought. And I believe that that's not about saying, I want $1 million, I want money, I want money, I want money. That's actually a kind of depressing thought. But if you learn to focus on the better feeling thought, I've actually become more confrontational with the people close to me now that I focus on the best feeling thought. It's very incisive. It's like a knife going, the thing you just said to me, the thing you just did to me, I don't like it, and here's why. And there's less like internalized chaos. It's just like and you just kind of tell the person right away, hey, that made me feel really bad. Hey, I don't like that you said that. And you just, it's very quick. And for me, that's actually the best feeling thought sometimes, because in my life, I bit my tongue at a lot of things that other people weren't biting their tongue at because I was obsessed with being kind or being perceived as kind. Or actually being kind, because part of the reason I always wanted kindness is because I wanted to be treated kindly. So it was actually kind of manipulative, because I didn't believe I could handle other people treating me unkindly. So I would over kindness everyone so that people would be kind to me and use kid gloves with me. And the less I do that, the more I am genuine with people, including when I'm hurt, and letting them know, the more respect people seem to have for me. So that's a big change for me. I was always surprised that I didn't feel very respected despite feeling very loved. I felt very loved in a one-dimensional way, like loved for being so nice. But if you're working really hard to be nice and you're actually overlaying your true feelings and your true perspective and your true bigger picture self with this sort of perma-kindness, and then if people say how much they love you because you're so kind, it actually just feels like conditional love, and it actually feels a little squeamy. So the more you can learn to be a full version of yourself, the more you'll feel like, oh, people don't just love me, they respect me. And it feels more complicated and wonderful. Highly recommended. A+, 10 out of 10. This is going on really long and I want to go get groceries. All right, there's a park. Goodbye.